What bothers me is there's no truth in hell. There's no truth here. We don't know what's coming. We don't know anything. I do know there's a psychological warfare going on against the people by using stories that will take your emotions and draw you into other people that you don't know, and they're suffering. And they know that we're a compassionate breed, eh? Coming from the flame of Christ, we are compassionate. And they play on our emotions. I remember back in the 70s, even when I'd watch a movie, I went, why are they playing with my emotions like this? I didn't like it. I didn't like the feeling. And I don't like the feeling of, being drawn in to other people's stories that I don't know them. And people get actually quite angry with me when I don't offer my sympathy and prayers and all of that on comments, because the only life going on right now, for me anyway, is through the internet. And people will comment and say, well, you should really care. No, I don't care. I don't care. 36 people apparently died in Maui. Really? That's a number 9. That's a symbol right there for me. I may be too far ahead of some people, but I do know when I'm being lied to. And I do know that maybe 36 people died, but in my city alone, probably 100 people died of cancer. It's all a matter of perspective of where you're going to put your energy into these stories in the media that they're putting out that make you feel very sorry for certain groups or certain people. And they're suffering because they don't want you to have your emotions at home. They want to take them. And when you're in a state of you're in a trance when you're doing that, because television is all theater as far as I'm concerned. I'll never believe one more nothing that I see on TV or in the social media either. I don't even watch their clickbait videos. I can't, my soul can't take it. But I do go in and I drop my comments and say what I have to say. And I say it in a very strong way. And the reason why I do that is because egos need to be cracked here. And if I can't do anything, then at least I can do that, and I'm having fun too. I'm not cold and I'm not cruel. I want to save people from repeating their history again. Listen, I was accidentally stumbled upon a video that came from the World War II era, and it kind of blew my mind. It was real. It wasn't a few crisis actors in a pocket somewhere with a couple of soldiers, making a stage show. This was freaking real, what I saw in this video about World War II. And what it was the decimation of Germany. I had no idea. I had zero idea. Especially about Hamburg. And the entire place was blown apart. And my mother-in-law came from Hamburg. They never said anything. Never once. Not once did she ever mention that. You know what her complaint was about World War II? That they didn't get any potatoes. They had to eat turnip. She could have been one of the enemies. With the way her son turned out, it's very possible I married into the enemy completely. I don't know. But something that a family friend, a friend of my mother's actually, her second husband came from Germany too. And he told a story that I couldn't believe way, way, way back. He said he was 5 years old in 1945 when the army came into his house and shot up his entire house, including his baby sister. He's the only one that escaped, 5 years old, male boy. The rapes, and what they showed was the Mongolians. They literally, and I saw their faces, guys. This wasn't a few. I saw what I saw. This was filmed. And they were just freaking not human. Like, and I feel like China, as I've said that, like they've been building a psychopathic army. And how you get them to, first of all, be psychopathic is you abort all their sisters. You know, they don't have a balance in life. And they're going to be a psychopath without love. You know, this is hell. I'm telling you, this is hell. And it's been hell for a long time. We've been in our cushy little places, watching our devices, and letting these billionaire, perverted pedophiles, human traffic, get away with bringing drugs over and killing our sons and daughters, making men out to be gods in hospitals where they've taken over your body, your mind. I'm very lucky. I have not been targeted for 2 years. And I'm going to tell you why they stopped targeting me. I stopped playing their game. I started shining my light on them, calling them out right face to face. And deep down, everybody is of Christ. But if we continue to just glaze our eyes over and let authority gaslight our reality, make us feel either fear or shame, no, not going to happen on my watch anymore. My ego broke, and here I am in spirit, and I'm fearless. I asked my guides today, what can I talk to you guys about? You know, I've lost a couple of subscribers saying that we're in hell. That's okay, because I don't want to be anywhere around any zombies anyway. I don't want to argue with anybody. If you can't see it, if you can't feel it, then just prepare your hearts. There's a lot of activity going on in Quebec City right now in the air. They say it's thunder and lightning coming, but I have never heard so many airplanes come over in the last 15 minutes than now. Like it just seems to be a non-stop flight. And I know that we're being manipulated with weather. We're being manipulated with everything. And that man-made weather is designed to kill. So when I see things like Maui, I wonder, why aren't they saying millions of people are dead? Why are they saying 36 people? It's a question I have. The same with China. 33 dead in one village. These are Freemason numbers. So what is going on? I see the pictures. I see houses being blown away. I see Maui's all burnt out. I saw Paradise was all burnt out, right? I see it. But what's with the numbers? And I think it's to not create a panic in the people, in all honesty. It's the only thing I can think about. Because where the fuck did all those people in Maui go? Did you see it? It's like, it was paradise. It was gone. And same with the villages in China. So I asked my guides, what should I talk about tonight? And they brought me back to the night when Trevor came with the beings of light in 2016. Those beings of light were grave. They were grave. And they told me to be prepared. At the end, the only thing I could remember was be prepared. And what that means to me now, and my consciousness has been unfolding since then, and what I was told about our history, about my past lives, about what we've done to ourselves, walking into hypnotic stories, other people's stories that don't belong to us, that we don't know personally. We buy into it and then we live our lives by it. The Garden of Eden is my prime example. It's all hypnosis. It's always been hypnosis. And it's time to wake up. That's what they told me I have to tell you. If you die in a state of fear and panic, you're coming right back. You're coming right back. Probably people here from World War II. Going to go through it again. History repeats. So I'm here about soul recovery. My son saved my soul. And I know how not to end up back here. I have to rebuke here. I have to see here. I have to know where I am. I'm in the dark. I'm being lied to. I'm being gaslit. There's nowhere to go but the media. I'm in a province that doesn't accept English speakers. I have no human rights here at all. None. And this is the way our world's been working, is working against humanity. And people go along with it because as long as they're not hurting you, well, then it's okay. That's hell. So I do know that a bloodbath is coming. And the next several weeks are going to be chaotic. They've been swarming people in through the borders, brown people. They've been moving people out of their homes. I can't even count how many homeless people are roaming around Vancouver now. That's where I came from. I went homeless. This is hell. And those positive thinkers can kiss my ass in British Columbia because they destroyed me by not seeing my suffering. When I had lung cancer, when I couldn't pay my rent, when I was going down. Well, you should think more positive. I thought you were a hypnotherapist. This is evil. That's a zombie. That's an Abraham student. And that's not going to help anybody. We judge people and we assume that we have the authority to fix other people. We don't. You have no right to fix anybody. Who are you? Just lend a hand if you can now and then. But we forgot all that. We forgot who we were. We don't have the Christ consciousness here that we need to stop what's coming. We don't have it. If you think psychopaths don't exist, let me tell you all about them. They get ahead. They're fearless. They don't care who they hurt. And the more angrier they are, the more people they hurt. And I can't imagine how angry the boys from Iraq are, Afghanistan, Congo, Nigeria. I can't imagine how angry they are coming from South Africa. And they're not raised right. Nobody is. Nobody. And so you have to prepare your heart. And how you prepare your heart is you remove all fear. That's it. You have to remove all fear and face your demon. Like, people used to say to me, they always pick on the robbers of life, people that steal, right? And I've said I would rather be stolen from than be the robber. I mean, I feel so more sorry for the robber, and I had no idea at the time why. I always felt more sorry for the murderers, the rapists, the robbers. I felt very sorry for them. They're gone. Like they're gone of conscience. Or some robbers, some like my dad. He used to write bum checks, but you know what? He was shit on as a child, and this is how he was raised. And you can look at other people and see how they're acting out against others. Well, they were hurt. They were hurt. This is an ongoing vicious cycle. We've been in a reincarnation trap, going through war after war. We used to wait every 100 years for the big wars. Now they're every other day. You got to have a war because that's what's keeping the government going. That's the only thing keeping the government going. And everybody says thank you for your service. And they pour their emotions into the war as if it's a loving thing. We're doing something good. Do you see how delusional that is yet? That we went around the world and we brought democracy? That's what the media was saying. They actually even had images on TV, at mainstream TV, of Saddam Hussein being killed. Oh my God. You want to watch that? That's going into your imaginations. That's going into you. When it goes into your imagination, it's going into you because your imagination is your creator. You get one every lifetime. You fill it up with what things you want to create. Now, if you're filling up with cartoons, football, porn, violence, or television news programming, if you're filling it up with education that somebody else is feeding you and you're not going out and figuring it out for yourself how to do things, then your imagination is full of nothing. It's a black tunnel. It's nothing created. We have to create our own in order to bring it home. So I've said this is a simulation, and it's turned into a simulation of hell. When we turned our will over, our free will over, and believed in the scriptures and Greek philosophers and everybody famous besides you, anybody they mention who is an expert, or this guy way back there, or Einstein there, the guy with all the chalkboard stuff. This is how they got you, you know. You're not allowed to have your own intelligence. Look at these other gods. Look at these idol stars. And listen to them. Because you don't know nothing. And you don't now. Listening to outside sources, we lose our own connection with our own source. To tell you, hey, that's wrong. Hey, you're going down the wrong road. Hey, you don't remember your dream wasn't to do that, it was to do this. But we get caught up in the emotions of television and we take it out on our families. That's right. I can see what they're doing. They're taking all your emotions for these fucking sob stories on TV, pardon me, including the school shootings, including all of that. It's to suck on your emotions, and they're using crisis actors because people aren't like that. Not normal people. And the story's always dropped, isn't it? The story's gone, and the next day another one comes. And it's day in and day out of story, story, story. Who to feel sorry for today? The victims in World War II? Do you know who they were? Do you know who they were? And do you know who got them? I gotta ask you, do you know who got them? America and the UK. One American pilot, the bombers, going over Hamburg said, I knew they were innocent people, but war is war. War is hell. But they've turned our military now into, I don't know what. I know that I know that the generals, the ones with wings, are dangerous breed. Don't even know if they're human. I really don't, guys. I've seen too much. I know too much. And you cannot be a killer as a lifestyle and think you're going to be sane at the end of the day. You can't. Who do you think you are? This is a simulation, but you still have a conscience in there. So most people will not hear me, will not believe me, and so they'll just, carry on with their regular lives. But anybody who wants to get me and get out of hell is to shine your light on liars, to rebuke evil, to do things to save your children, your parents, to show your love, express it with feelings, and to not give them all away to the people on TV. That is so disappointing to children. It's very disappointing to children to watch their parents pour all their love to things on TV. It's all wrong. And every commercial is to feed you the worst drugs, the worst foods, the worst everything. It's a good thing, though, that I caught on to it, because now I know whatever is popular and whatever is pushed, I stay away from. I don't want a part of it. But what I do want to do, as I shine my light on the evil that I see, I'm doing it so other people can see what I see. And if you don't want to, then hang up on me and go back to your regular programming. Because I've been shit on my whole life for talking about liars and pedophiles. I've been shit on by the zombies in my family. And I get shit on social media for my views. But you got to be fearless if you're working for Christ. If you're working for the children, which is Christ. Like, you stand up like a woman and you protect them in any way you can. Now, I can't go out anywhere, but I can talk. I got this little camera going. And I can remind people of what is important. And what turns to ash is the games, is the stories. They all go away. And we come back for another story. If we're coming back into the same reptilian race, then the story's just gonna, it's hell. It's hell. So, weird things here around Quebec right now. And I have a lot of feelings going on about the next several weeks. And how I'm gonna cope is I'm gonna continue to write my poetry, play my xylophone. It's not easy to get into my own self in meditation, so I have to break old habits, of watching the news, of even caring what's going on in hell, what's going on in my heart, right? My heart isn't hell. I know that. So, is your heart hell or is your heart heaven? That's something to look at. Are you in hell or are you in heaven? In your heart. Like, how do you feel? And fix it if you want. or complain and be a martyr or whatever. But at the end of the day, the only person that can save you is the Christ within you. And the only way it would be gone is if you gave it up through abuse and trauma and so on and so forth. So a lot of people may have, like me, come from trauma, right? From sexual and emotional abuse as a child. How the hell are you ever supposed to be sane? Well, you're probably the luckiest because you know psychopaths exist. You know the world is not the way it's presented. And, you know, the ones that think everything's been peachy fine and they've been going along in their rich lives or middle class lives and going to school and having the neighborhood parties, if that's the way it's been looking, but in the background where these people have no clue of what the administrations and CEOs have been doing within all of our agencies and corporations to support a humanity for profit. There's no compassion here. The ones that have letters in their names like health care, it's the last thing they are. Or another one is Truth China. I saw that. Truth China. No, it's all Freemason stuff. And they're putting terror in you, right? And then they're showing you pockets of 10 people in some little huddle like campground and saying that they're homeless and they're waiting to be rescued. Where are the rest? If there is anything going on, where are the rest? China has people every 2 inches. Like, so, I don't know who they're fooling, but not me. And so because of this lies and delusion, and you know, just don't even think about falling for their fear. Maybe imagine that you are in hell and you are the light. And your job and game is to get out. And there's various little obstacles to go through and little problems and things to blow up along your way. To do it your way, in your imagination. A guy said to me on my video the other day, "You're very imaginative." Well, yeah, that's where the Creator lives, right? That's where the Creator lives. So it's the way I see things anyway. I see things like I'm in hell and I'm around a bunch of zombies and I'm trying to shine the light on the truth around them. And if they don't get it, I walk away. First I slap them upside the head because I don't care. They don't have feelings. And it's fun. It's fun. I don't I don't say that to be I say that because I say that. You can't save everyone, my friends, and I'm going to lose a shitload of people to this hellfire system. And they're not going to be prepared. I fear for, you wouldn't believe how I fear for British Columbia right now. They've been invaded, and they don't even know it. They've been invaded, and they've been kicked out of their houses, put homeless, and they're still having a jolly life while they get welfare checks or something. I don't know. I'm, you know, my granddaughter's there, my grandson's there, but I'm not in charge of their lives, and I am not their God. And if I cannot change things, I accept things, you know. And I've never been in charge. I'm not in charge of anybody. And all I can do is accept. And this is how I prepare my heart too, is first of all, unconditional love. I don't have any bad feelings towards anybody. Nobody that I know. I beat people up on social media, but I don't know them and they're not real. They're not real to me. If they're rude, or if they're liars, or if they're terrorizing people, I will say something there. But I love unconditionally, and I have no regrets. And that's another way to prepare your soul, is to have no regrets. Deal with your regrets now. And if you can't deal with your regrets with your people, deal with it in your imagination. Because nothing's hidden. It's your story in your imagination. And that's what I've done. I've created a story in my imagination that makes everything makes sense to me. Now, whether it's true or not, it is to me. And I've put my soul on it. I put my whole soul on this. Because I wouldn't lie, and I know that, and I know myself. I'm self-aware. And I know I was commissioned with putting out the fire on planet Paradise here, but it's not going to happen. By me alone. I can't do anything except prepare my own heart and teach others how to prepare their own hearts. For anything, anything good or anything bad, just keep an open mind too. That's another way. Always keep an open mind. Nothing in the heart is written in stone. Like, it can change. That's the wonder of a woman. The imagination can change, and so can the creations. We all have so much to offer the world in some way. But expressing love when we're feeling fear and stressed and our emotions are going to TV people, how are we gonna keep our emotions for ourselves? What I saw from the World War II, like, I can't believe they got away with keeping that from us. You wouldn't believe what I saw. I'm not really, they're barbarians. Whatever that was there, killing Germans, weren't human. I think you can lose your humanity even as early as childhood now. And so this is where we are at. If you don't think we're in hell, then bless your heart. Enjoy your fun, your game, your simulation while you can. Keep your game going. Whatever you're doing it right? Until you come into something that requires the truth. And if you're not living in the truth, then that's a problem for your game. At the end of the day, you'll come back and you'll suffer. It's a karmic rule, a universal rule. We all know what's going on the other side. Our loved ones on the other side, the ones that aren't already reincarnated, they need us. They need us to return to Christ. That just means going back to childhood. That just means playing in joy. And I know how freaking hard that is. But the other way to go back to Christ is to live in unconditional love and acceptance of whatever is going on around you. to not emotionally react. Don't give up your emotions of love. Don't look at anybody with contempt or any story with contempt. Just unconditional acceptance. Okay. I mean, that's for people that aren't already doing some other job. Like, 'cause me, I'm not unconditional. I speak my mind here and now. And you can do whatever role you want to get by. It is all a game. And it is all up to you what you do. And it is your movie that you're recording from the beams in your eyes. And if you have anything to regret, get it fixed now. And if you don't forgive yourself, I wish you would for everything. Because everybody deserves love, especially from themselves. Learn how to be your own best friend. Learn how to comfort yourself. Learn how to bring joy to yourself in any small way you can. And become whole again in your imagination. Don't let anybody gaslight your reality. You know, by feeding you stories about other people and how you should compare or whatever. You don't compare to nobody. I don't compare to nobody. If you like me, great. If not, it's okay. We're in hell. We're in a game. Let's move along. I think I better go. I don't know if you can hear me anymore. The rain. It's quite a storm in Quebec. I saw all the airplanes just before, so whatever that means.